Hello, YouTube. A very serious topic today. We finally have, after an entire year of nothing, we finally have major progress in the David and Celeste case. David has finally not only been arrested, but he has now been charged with murder. Yeah, and we're gonna get into all the details, but in short, I'm gonna go ahead and just say here that I called it, and a lot of us here called it. If you guys remember from my previous video, I think one of the biggest theories around this case was that Celeste, she was 14. She was a 14-year-old girl when David was going out with her, having relationships with her, and then she was also 14 when she died. Before we get into the actual details and the information regarding the case, this is a clip from my YouTube video from 7 months ago, September 19th, 2025. Look what I said here. The only other thing I can think of for being the motive is, yeah, basically maybe she was gonna come clean. Maybe she was threatening to leave him and he was all unhinged and fucking killed her. I don't know. Who knows? It just lines up too well. There you go. That was revealed to be a possible motive in this investigation, that things just got to a point where she was threatening to come clean about their relationship. Also, thank you so much, Andromeda Gaming, for the 200 bits. But yeah, I mean, we called it almost a year ago. Okay, let's read this. David has been charged by the Los Angeles District Attorney with first-degree murder with special circumstances in the killing of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, a charge that carries a potential sentence of life without parole or the death penalty. Additional charges include lewd and lascivious acts involving a child under 14 and mutilation of human remains. This actually contains a video of the LA prosecutor announcing to the world what the charges are. I'm just going to go ahead and let the video play, and let's listen to what he says.
I am announcing the charges against David Anthony Burke, the musician known as David, spelled D4vd, in connection with the brutal and horrific murder of Celeste, a 14-year-old at that time. These charges include the most serious charges that a DA's office can bring. That is first-degree murder with special circumstances. The special circumstances being lying in wait, committing this crime for financial gain, or murdering a witness in an investigation. These special circumstances carry with it, along with the first-degree murder charge, a maximum sentence of life without the possibility of parole or the death penalty. The determination on whether or not the district attorney's office will seek the death penalty will be made at a later time. And there are additional charges against Mr. Burke, including continuous sexual acts, lewd and lascivious sexual acts, with an individual under 14 years old, and mutilating a human remains of a body. Before I get into the description of these charges and their seriousness, I want to look at this as a parent. I am a parent of 3 children, and a parent's nightmare is a situation where your daughter goes out one night and never comes back. On April 23rd, 2025, as been alleged by the complaint, Celeste, a 14-year-old at that time, went to Mr. Burke's house in the Hollywood Hills. She was never heard from again. On September 8th, 2025, as alleged in the complaint, Miss Celeste remains, her dismembered and decomposed remains, were found in 2 bags inside of a front trunk.
Mind you, I want to point out something here. This means that David did all of that, murdered her, dismembered her body, and left the corpse, left the body parts, left the poor dismembered 14-year-old girl rotting in his Tesla just before he went on world tour. He was out on world tour peacefully while a 14-year-old girl was rotting in his car, all because he didn't want to be outed as a pedophile.
Of a car registered to Mr. Burke. Thereafter began an investigation. The investigation was to determine who killed, who murdered Celeste months and months before. That investigation was carried out in unison and in partnership between the LAPD's Robbery Homicide Division and the District Attorney's Office. At every point in the investigation, through the arrest and the filing of charges, the LAPD and the District Attorney's Office have worked in lockstep. There's been no disagreements amongst these entities in deciding how to proceed with this case, ultimately leading to these charges today.
Let's go on. Let's move on. Okay, here's a more detailed list of all of the charges that are included. So David reportedly killed Celeste Rivas with a sharp instrument, according to prosecutors. The charges against David include continuous abuse of a child, murder for financial gain, murder to prevent testimony, murder by lying in wait, use of a deadly weapon, and mutilation of human remains. That is the complete list of charges. And then here's the actual documentation. I want you guys all to remember something. So at the time of her death, she was 14. Do you think that to get to this level of obsession and having relations with them, being this close together, appearing in live streams, do you really think that the relationship started right then and there when she was 14? No. And this is like the more disgusting part of all of this. In order for them to have gone to this deep of a relationship, David had to have been this child. And I am saying, okay, because there is no consenting at this age. He was 21 having sexual relations with this child. He had to have been her since she was like 12, maybe even 11, who knows. I think 11 had to have been like the youngest that she must have been when they first met. I think at this point he had probably been doing stuff with her since she was 12. Yeah, I just really want you guys to remember this, because I've also seen a bunch of disgusting Twitter accounts try and frame this as, oh, he had with her, him and his girlfriend. Really weird vocabulary is being used when talking about their relationship. There is no dating. This wasn't a relationship. They didn't have sex. He was her. He groomed and this girl since she was 11 or 12. No, yeah. In this tweet by Popbase, this says what we were all speculating 8 months ago, like last year. You guys remember? Prosecutors say that David murdered Celeste Rivas to protect his music career because she threatened to expose him for having sex with a 14-year-old girl herself. This is exactly what I theorized back in my previous video, back in my video from 8 or 7 months ago. And it wasn't just me. I'm not trying to make myself out to be special. I think a lot of people suspected this. I think he was getting so big. He was making music for Invincible, mega viral on all platforms. So when this poor little girl here finally was like, hey, I don't think we should hide this anymore. I want to come clean and I don't feel like this is right. What David then did, I'm just going to assume what his mind state was. I'm going to assume it was like this. What? Like, I'm at the peak of my career. I'm on the up. I'm blowing up. I'm getting all of this momentum. I'm getting all of this money. And then now this girl that I've been grooming since she was 11, now she's gonna come clean. No, like, what do I do? What do I do? And then he took matters into his own hands and killed her. And how much do you want to bet? Because we cover a lot of true crime here. How much do you want to bet that he did something to her body after she was dead? I just feel like that's got to be like a thing he did, because he's sick and twisted in the head. Can I be honest with y'all? I'm just saying that that's a possibility. Do y'all agree or not? Because we've covered a lot of cases where the man, whenever they kill their victim, whenever they kill a woman or a girl, they do something like gross afterwards. So common. And considering they had relations, it wouldn't surprise me. It just wouldn't surprise me. No, yeah, I think he got scared. I think he took the coward's way out and said, hey, I'm going to protect my career, even if it only prolongs my career for a couple months, because he's still murdering a girl. Even if it made him a murderer in addition to a pedophile, he didn't care. He killed her to prolong his career for a little bit longer. And then he went on world tour, which is just appalling. I don't know how you can do that and then go on a world tour performing, singing, laughing, having fun. He probably partied, drank a lot. Yeah, it's just disgusting. And then now here we are to yesterday. I mean, this is just yesterday. It's April 21st at the time of me recording this video. This was just yesterday. Breaking. David pleads not guilty and demands an immediate preliminary hearing. Hell nah. Hell to the fuck no. The nerve of this guy to plead not guilty. The evidence is just all there from the beginning. Even when like there was hardly any evidence. How do you explain body remains rotting in your car, in your Tesla? You just can't. You can't explain that. So the fact that he's pleading not guilty after an entire year of gathering evidence, I just want to smack the fuck out of this guy. There's too much evidence. He had no chance to win. No, yeah, he has no chance. I even see some people in chat saying 40 terabytes. I don't know if that number is true. Dude. Oh, he's cooked. The prosecution noted that a release of information from the grand jury required a motion to the court. There is more than 40 terabytes of discovery for the district attorney's office to work through, the prosecution said. And this is why I always say to not rush these things. People were a little upset, and I can understand why. People were upset that this took so long, right? That this took so long to get this guy in jail, to arrest him. But you have to understand how the law works. If you want to build a solid case that has virtually no chance of being beat, it takes time. What that time allows you to do is to collect irrefutable evidence, and a lot of it. Once you have the evidence, that's when you go and say, hey, arrest him, charge him with murder. We have enough evidence that makes us certain we can win this and get him the maximum sentence. Because if you rush things before you get ample evidence like this, like the 40 terabytes of evidence against this guy, you run the risk of him finding a way to wiggle out of it, to not get charged with what you were charging him with, which is first-degree murder. And guess what? Here's another thing. If that was to happen, you know, you rush things, you don't bring enough evidence, and he gets off, there's a law in America saying you cannot be brought to court twice for the same case, for the same charge. So yeah, again, for all of you who were frustrated about the, you know, taking so long, if they would have rushed it and then David would have wiggled away because there wasn't enough evidence to charge him of first-degree murder, he would just be clear of first-degree murder. He would not be able to be charged with that ever again because of the law. No, but yeah, anyway, he's pleading not guilty. I'm pretty sure he has like a 99% chance of losing that. Oh, here we go. This is a tweet I pulled up just to emphasize my point even more. So this person says, I know the caption says 14, that she was 14 years old, but David was most likely Celeste when she was only 12 years old, which I completely agree with. Again, to get to this deep of a relationship, do you really think from one day to the next it got to this point? Like they met when she was 14 and then 2 days later he killed her? Like, no, this was a long relationship. So you can bet your ass that they had been knowing each other. They had history from like a year or 2 years ago prior. Alrighty. So obviously with all of this going viral, a lot of clips are resurfacing. A lot of these are clips that we already covered in my original video, but I can show you guys for the newcomers, for the people that are new to this case. I can just show you some of these clips again. The caption says, a video is resurfacing of David and a 14-year-old girl. Obviously that 14-year-old girl is Celeste Rivas. After David was arrested for the murder of her 2 days ago after she was found deceased in the back of his Tesla. This is just crazy though. Just before this video plays, the balls of this guy to literally live stream himself with the 14-year-old. Would that not be weird to y'all? Like imagine if I streamed and then my guest was like some 13-year-old girl. Like he was just doing this out in the open.
That's controversial.
It's controversial of raping kids.
Yeah, see, and she literally said a joke that contained a bit of the truth. So the fact that she said that, I feel like from this moment, this is when David in his head was like, ooh, this girl's starting to set off a bit of alarms in my head. Like I might have to do something with her later.
Really good.
Okay,
it's
bye.
been a good one. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Mwah, 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 mwah.
Bro, look at David, fucking David. Oh yeah, we gotta go now, guys. We gotta go. Yeah, see ya, guys. I wonder what they did after this stream ended, off camera. Like what? I wonder what he did to her, what he said to her.
Oh my! Delete everything. Delete everything. Everything goes. Everything.
We need to delete this.
Maz, can we delete all VODs?
Dude, that's crazy. And then even in this clip, I remember now, wow, it's all coming back to me. In this clip, he's literally telling his mods to delete all of the VODs. And like, yeah, I mean, they were showing pictures, romantic ass pictures that they took together as a couple. The fact that he was doing and showing all of this out to the open, it's just insane. You know what would make it crazy if he got the death penalty? When was the last death penalty? California. Okay, so the last death penalty that took place in California was in 2006. It's been 2 decades. Wow, it's been 20 years since the last death penalty. I think David has a legitimate chance of being the first one in 20 years to have gotten the death penalty. That's how gruesome this case is. And then the last tweet that I want to read to y'all today. So this person says he was 21 banging a 14-year-old. And by the way, I don't even like this word right here, banging. I don't know how to explain it. It just doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound respectful. It doesn't sound like banging. Like no. So he was 21 raping a 14-year-old for months and then allegedly chopped her up when she became a problem. Death penalty is too quick. Let him get passed around in Gen Pop for 50 years first. Real justice. I do agree with that. I actually do agree that death penalty would be too easy for a guy like this. Do you guys agree? I personally think, because people just think, oh, you're dying, right? That's the worst thing ever, right? You're losing your life. That's the worst. No. That's easy because they're going to inject him. It's just like, it's nothing. He needs to suffer in prison. Look at his weight and his height. So he is 5'5" and 125 pounds. I saw somebody make a joke about this on Twitter. It's a little inappropriate, but I'm going to repeat it to y'all because I low-key kind of agree. At that height and weight, can you imagine the type of shit that would be done to him in prison? You know what they like to do to little pretty boys like that in prison? Oh yeah, he gonna be passed around, guys. He's gonna be passed around like a flashlight. No, he is gonna be passed around. But guess what? That would be poetic justice, because what was he doing when he was free? Oh yeah, that's right. A girl since she was 12 years old at least. That's all I'm saying, guys. That's where we're at right now. They're still waiting for the trial. You guys already saw he's pleading not guilty. Once again, guys, prayers for Celeste. Rest in peace. And actually, before I end today's video, this is also something that needs to be talked about more. This girl was failed by everybody around her, because you guys remember in my first 2 videos that I've made on the subject, multiple people knew. Her parents, I think they might have known, but for sure there was friends of David and friends of Celeste that knew. But I would want to blame the friends of David more because they're obviously older, because David is older. People knew of the relationship all of this time before she died, and nobody said anything. Ignore the fact that she died, which is already awful, but people didn't say anything knowing David was a pedophile. Yeah, she was failed. She was failed by the adults around her, by the older people around her. That's what makes this case more tragic than it is. The fact that she could have still been alive. She could have still been here with us had the people around her spoken up, either to the police, or if somebody would have at least just stood up to David. If somebody would have just checked David, just been like, hey bro, what the f are you doing? This isn't right. You're weird. You're a file. Oh, you know what I would say? I would say you either turn yourself in or I'm gonna snitch to the police. But there's no way out of it. I'm not giving you an out. It's either you turn yourself in or I turn you over. And hey, boy, David, I'm not a little 14-year-old girl that you can just murder the way you did, like a come at me. Come at somebody your own size. That's all for today's update. The trial is coming soon. Let's hope Celeste gets justice. Rest in peace to Celeste. Everybody spam that in the chat, please. Spam that shit. Rest in peace to Celeste. And no, yeah, that's the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching, YouTube, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.